One couple Billy.
Okay, so we're about to get this DRS62 qualifying session underway. And as you can see, quite wet. We have a new driver there, 138, Ava. In her first qualifying session. Ava Reynolds, and then alongside her is number 6, Oliver Harrison, giving us a wave. And behind Oliver, we've got number 5, Nat Johnston, as the session's getting underway. Bit of a problem there for Lucas Esser, he's got away. And also for Ewan Scott, number 4, bit of a problem starting. No, but he's away. Always a nervous time. Jack Robinson, DRS, waiting at the back, and he's deciding not to go on track. Either his dad's not ready, or his dad's altering the pressures because he might think it's going to stop raining or less rain. And that's quite okay. So he's going to clearly look for track position. Always in qualifying, you don't want to be towing anyone around behind you, showing people the, you know, your lines in qualifying anyway. In the wet, getting a tow, a little bit of a spinner then. Who was that? That was Lucas Esser. Just catching the curb there. And these young drivers, starting from 8 years old, they can stay in the DRS62 class until they're 12. Always a nerve-wracking time for them, qualifying. Most of them get a little bit too excited, and all the drivers have either what we call an Alfano or a Micron, which is a digital display on their steering wheel where they can see their lap time. Obviously, normally better to check it on the straight, and they can see if their lap time is improving. So they're looking at Oscar Walsh, number 3, and it is really quite wet up there. So Oscar navigating his way around, currently in P1 with a 56.612. With Nat Johnston, number 5, with a 57.50, and Benjamin Baker with a 57.50. Early days. Oscar taking a wider line there, searching out for the grip. Jack Robinson out on his own DRS, gets his lap in with a 56.949 with 3rd. But Nat Johnston is certainly looking like he means business. He's right behind Oscar Walsh, and maybe spying his lines. We just got a spinner there. Can't quite see who that was. Hopefully they kept the engine running and can get going. Yeah, it's definitely getting wetter and wetter. So maybe the drivers that have got a slightly higher pressure in the tyre will start to see some advantage. Another improvement there from Oscar with a 56.215. And just looking at the DRS Academy, 2 divisions in DRS62. We have DRS Super, which are the yellow plates, which have a slightly higher spec engine, a little bit more power, as opposed to the black plates, which are novice drivers in their first season in DRS. So that is an excellent performance at the moment from number 124, Dorian Malik. He's currently in 5th with a 57.181. The next Academy driver in 9th is Lucas Esser with a 58.006, followed by, in 10th place, Bailey Wolf, DRA, with a 58.013. Bailey winning the first race of the year, where we had the racing where the winners on that particular day at Little Rissington were awarded the DRS plate, or in the Academy division, the DRA plate, and they're allowed to run that this season, as it is a one-off championship win. Now, some of these drivers just struggling a little bit with traction, and also when you see the karts, basically you see the driver turning a lot and it doesn't initially turn, which is known as understeer. And what can happen if you're struggling with a lot of understeer, the driver turns more and more. That's quite controlled there from Nat Johnston, number 5. Got a little bit of initial understeer, but if a driver has lots of understeer where it doesn't turn, the driver ends up putting more and more steering lock, more input into the steering. And then what can happen a little bit as you get into the corner, as the front grips, then because you've got so much steering lock on, the rear really slides. And when the rear slides, a little bit there for Nat, that is known as oversteer. So, Oscar Walsh still in P1 with a 56.215, and we've got a spinner there, and that is Jack Robinson, and he is going to be beached. Now, Jack, and he knows it. Jack, keep calm. He can't hear me, but keep calm. You will get some assistance with a push. Obviously, just dropped a wheel off, but he is currently in second place with a 56.576. So I'm not sure he's got a chance for a bit of a chat, but he's got the engine running and he's allowed to get a little bit of shove. And he could be a lucky boy, because if he can just stay cool and just get his thoughts together in this next quarter of a lap, he will then, with 2 minutes to go, be able to get another lap in and hopefully improve his position. So Nat Johnston is still plugging away, and he's 56.614. Just coming up for a bit of traffic here, so this might stop Nat improving on this particular lap with 1 minute 40 to go. Yeah, he's going to be impeded there. It's up the inside of Indigo Pickering. So, is he able to improve on this lap? Oscar Walsh does. He goes a 56.215. And Nat going to have to go the long way around, and that was bravery, because he had to navigate around Aaron Hewood there, and there wasn't much room to spare. The question is, where is Jack Robinson, DRS? Was he able to start a clean lap? And is he going to be able to post a faster time than Oscar Walsh, despite having an off? Here comes Nat Johnston. He's going to get across the line, and we can start to see how the end of this qualifying session is going to pan out. Nobody else improving at the moment. Behind Nat Johnston, we've got Benjamin Baker, number 7, with a 56.726. So, apart from the difference between first and second, the times again are exceedingly close as checkered flag is pulled. Jack Robinson doesn't improve, just missing out there with a 56.284. Oscar Walsh, a 56.215. We're just waiting for him to come across the line. And now you can see in the background that the sun's coming again. So this is going to make today incredibly difficult for the drivers and for their mums and dads and helpers. Where is Nat Johnston? Here is Nat Johnston. He doesn't improve, nor does Benjamin Baker or Oliver Harrison. And everyone crosses the line. So that's P1 for Oscar Walsh, 56.215, followed by Jack Robinson, DRS with a 56.284. Third place for Nat Johnston with a 56.614. Fourth place for Benjamin Baker with a 56.677. Fifth place for Oliver Harrison with a 57.006. Sixth place, an excellent performance from Daxton Groves, number 9, 57.175. First, DRS Academy in 7th position, number 124, which is Dorian Malik. 8th place for Ewan Scott with a 57.331. 9th place for Oscar Cole, 57.453. And bringing up the top 10, DRA Bailey Wolf with a 57.601. So that is the DRS62 qualifying session. Obviously provisional at this stage until they've gone through scrutineering. So we will now be, look at that sky. It depends where you're looking, and obviously it really depends which way the wind is going to come. But we've seen yesterday how quickly the conditions can change. Quite a difference in performance in the last heat that was on track, which was the DRS 100. Some drivers that had expired their tyres in qualifying, the wets they were using instead of slicks, clearly showing an advantage with new rain tyres when the track was wet then. So what is the dice going to throw up this time? Pole position there, we have Oscar Walsh, number 3. Alongside him, DRS Jack Robinson. Amazing how calm, cool, collected these kids look while they're waiting to get onto track. Third place for Nat Johnston. Benjamin Baker in 4th. Oliver Harrison in 5th. Daxton Groves in 6th. An excellent 7th place for Dorian Malik, first of the Academy drivers. Ewan Scott in 8th position. Then We're just looking to get going in a couple of minutes' time. 9th position for Oscar Cole, 10th position for the DRA of Bailey Wolf in the Academy category, Lucas Esser in 11th, Ethan Whitlam in 12th position, Ashton Redpath in 13th, and Hewood in 14th, Cruz Dalton in 15th, and Oscar Roach in 16th. Jensen Woodhouse taking up grid spot 17. New driver Ava Reynolds on P18. Indigo Pickering on 19. And finally on grid 20, Lewin Adey, all the way from the Isle of Wight. So the guys just getting ready. This heat is due to go live on Out on Track at 2:20. So just about 1 minute left to go. Final words of encouragement for the drivers. Engine starting, and they waited a long time, but at last they are now out on track. And this first lap, this first installation lap for them out of the pits is really important because the track is a lot wetter than last time, and it'll give them an opportunity just to see where the grip is, just to have a feel how hard they can push, whether they've got any understeer or oversteer. Get some temperature into the tyres and the engine and the brakes. Before crossing the line, and then on the second lap starting to form up in 2 lines and continue the rolling lap at a controlled speed, and then slowing right down in the last sector on the approach to the line in 2 lines. When the red lights go out, the karts are allowed to break formation. Who will get a flyer, who will not? And as we've seen in the last 2 heats, we've had a couple of drivers penalised for a jump start. So let's see how these DRS62s get themselves together. That's Lucas Ezra trying desperately to catch up. He should catch them up because the race direction team should start to slow up the field now as they come into the complex. So here they come. Are we going to get a start? No. Last few rows of the grid were a bit too far apart, so the guys at the front putting their hand in the air, saying another rotation, another lap. Look at the rain. Welcome to Wales. Even when it's raining here at GYG, the track is still stunning, still as challenging, and the drivers that I've spoken to are really loving the track. So if you've never been to GYG, you can go to their website, and if you're an owner driver, you can book in and test. Or if you're watching this and you fancy driving the track and you haven't got your car, maybe come try their corporate, get a taste for it. Or with the Daniel Ricciardo Series, you can always try out our academy in one of our karts to see if you like it before you even have to purchase a kart. So this is looking better. This is looking better. This is looking equal. And we are away. And Oscar Walsh straight into the lead. You can see the roosters of spray from the tyres. Much, much wetter. And Jack Robinson, he knows he cannot let Oscar get away. Benjamin Baker in third position. Good start by him. Indigo Pickering, 110. Just struggling with the front end there. And Nat Johnston obviously made a move. Oliver Harrison now on the inside of Nat Johnston. Is he going to hang him out to dry? Nat's going to have to keep firm. He's kept his line. Switch back. But looks like Nat did enough there just to cover it off into the complex for the first time. Benjamin Baker trying to get past the academy driver. Excellent start for Bailey Wolf. And these early laps are so critical in the DRS62. It's important trying to keep up with the pack, trying to work together to stay with the leaders. But it does look like Oscar is slowly but surely inching away from Jack Robinson. A lot less grip here at the top. A lot of understeer. And again, Benjamin Baker making good traction there. He's going to go on the cutback here, up the hill, just to close on Oliver Harrison. Meanwhile, Nat Johnson has managed to just put a bit of fresh air between him and Oliver Harrison, and is looking up ahead at Jack Robinson, and he knows he's got to try to close that gap. But definitely Benjamin Baker looking a bit racy here. He's looking for the inside. He's going to take some curb. Who is going to get the drag race to the top? Oliver's on the outside. I don't think Benjamin has got enough speed. Is he going to get the inside of the hairpin? He's close. Needs to control it. No. Oliver shut the door and Benjamin had to slam on the brakes, but he's managed to get a good traction anyway. He's going to look for the inside. Is he going to make it stick? No, decides that it's just too risky. You can see here that he had to take avoiding action. Great kart control from Benjamin. And actually, because Oliver went tight, he lost some speed on the exit. So really, the status quo was kept the same. So there's a little bit of a gaggle of karts now closing up behind Oliver Harrison and Benjamin Baker. Nat Johnston is inching away, but our two leaders are up the road. They have certainly checked out and are fully lit in this wet heat at GYG for the DRS62s. And this is a good opportunity for Jack Robinson if he can just keep the distance, keep a check on Oscar, study his lines, see where he's going, seeing where he's getting the grip. And of course, during the race, it may become apparent who has the right pressures. Remember, if your pressures are too high, it's possible to overheat your tyres. But normally that means that you're quicker in the first part of the race. If your tyres are lower, the temperature comes up bit by bit and your performance increases through the race, and hopefully you've been able to compromise and your pace gets quicker through the race and your tyres don't go off. So it will be interesting. I suspect that Jack may have slightly lower pressures than Oscar. So let's see if he closes up with just over 3 minutes of this heat remaining. So critical to be so smooth on the steering and on the gas and on the braking. And Jack Robinson looks to be inching onto the back of Oscar Walsh. Now the drag race is picking up a little bit of tow. Is he going to fancy his chances into the hairpin at the top? Little bit of a mistake there from Jack. So not on this lap. Nat Johnston still in third place, with Benjamin Baker. You can just see he was looking to line Oscar up into the hairpin, and then you just see, look there, just slid the back, and that was enough to cause him to abort any possible overtake he was thinking about. Oscar going very wide there. Now he was that's going to make his exit not so good here for sure. There's a big bump on that corner, and you need to be on the inside of it, otherwise it throws the car too wide. And let's see if Jack has learned from the previous lap. He's tucked even closer, and when he goes wide, he needs to steady the rear of the cart. Looks like he's got it this time. And he will now know that Oscar didn't close off that hairpin that time. So with just 1 minute 50 left of this heat. Whoa, a little bit of a delicate spin, and I think that is our new driver Ava Reynolds, but still doing really well in her first ever DRS62 meeting. Now Jack Robinson might have made a mistake there, because suddenly Oscar has managed to put a bit of fresh air between himself and Jack. So look at the rain continues to come down. Ewan Scott up to 5th place, Bailey Wolf in 6th. Oliver Harrison now finds himself back in 7th, with Oscar Cole having a good drive and up to 8th. Ashton Redpath in 9th, and Dorian Malik rounding out the top 10. So, was it the other way round? Did Oscar have the slightly lower pressure because he managed to get a gap? Are Jack's tyres slightly going off, or has he just made a mistake and having to concentrate and reclose that gap? I think the next time round we will be on the last lap. So if he's going to do anything, he needs to do it now. Changed his line there. Now Oscar went wide here before, and Jack has gone narrow. So let's look. Oh, Oscar's on the outside of the bump. Now this is what happened last time, and Jack's closer, carrying a bit more mid-corner understeer there, so had to lift the gas a little bit. Can he get a good exit? There's going to be some blue flags up ahead because they're going to catch some back markers on the tail end of this lap. That's certainly something that you don't want on the last lap. He's very cool, Oscar. He's smooth, and they're calling for the blue flags. They could catch it on the last couple of corners. Will Jack take a dive? And not quite. Oh yes, this is going to be a traffic jam. Which side are they going to go? Here's Ava Reynolds. They've got to go tight. But Oscar Walsh hangs on for the victory from Jack Robinson. 3rd place for Nat Johnston, and 4th for Benjamin Baker, with Ewan Scott in 5th place. First Academy driver across the line is Bailey Wolf. Oliver Harrison, after that promising start, having to settle for 7th in the end. Ashton Redpath making a place on the last lap for 8th. Second Academy driver. Oscar Cole in 9th. And rounding off the top 10 was Dorian Malik, number 124 in the DRS62 Academy. Okay, everybody, here we go for the DRS62 pre-final, which is P1 for Oscar Walsh, number 3. Jack Robinson on P2. Close race in the heat before. Nat Johnston in P3. Benjamin Baker in P4. Ewan Scott, P5. Bailey Wolf, first of the DRS62 Academies, in P6. Oliver Harrison in 7. Ashton Redpath in the DRS Academy in P8. Starting their engines out on their formation lap. P9 for Oscar Cole. P10 for Dorian Malik. P11 for Lucas Esser. P12 for Daxton Groves. He should be on a yellow plate. He's number 9. Aaron Hayward, P13. Ethan Whitlam, P14. Oscar Roach, P15. And P16 for Cruz Dalton. So, 17th for Indigo Pickering, Lewin Adey, P18, Ava Reynolds, P19, and Jensen Woodhouse, number 127 on P20. So this race scheduled for 8 minutes duration plus 1 lap. And once again, conditions have changed. And they do another lap with P1 and P2 actually quite far ahead, so they really need to slow down, which they are doing, to back up. Still quite a bit of spray on the back straight. So once again, tyre pressures are going to play a part, as will the amount of tread that the drivers have on their wet tyres. So here they come, looking like we've got the field together. Need to slow it up a little bit. Remember, they have to stay in line. Oscar Walsh, yes, definitely saying to Jack Robinson, slow it up. They need to approach the line in their own lane. They can only break formation when the lights go out. This is a little bit quick, but we have a start. And Oscar Walsh, and a bit of contact there. Looked like one of the carts went wide and slewed across the track back into the oncoming traffic. Meanwhile, Jack Robinson is desperately trying to get up the inside. Has he made it? Oscar Walsh is trying to keep his foot in. But Jack's going to have the run down to the middle corner. Is he going to go narrow? No, he's not. And it looks like Benjamin Baker has made an excellent start, as has, is that Oscar Cole, also made an excellent, brilliant start. And the person having a nightmare is Nat Johnston, because he has slipped down the order from P3 and now finds himself in 1, 2, 3, 4, P5. So he has got to get it together on this lap. But without doubt, Oscar Cole and Benjamin Baker look like they are a lot racier compared to the previous heat. Now that looks like Ashton Redpath just being Who was that trying to overtake on the inside? Hasn't made it. He's managed to keep his position. But Jack Robinson is a lot closer this time. A lot closer. Lewin Ady from the Isle of Wight, 112. Looks like he's had a bit of an off. I think he just had a spin and continued. But Jack Robinson looking like he's got much more front grip this time. Maybe his dad's made some alterations to his setup. But without doubt, compared to the previous race, he is a lot closer at this stage. Oscar, though, is a cool customer. He just soaks up the pressure. And it's very rare that he makes a mistake. So I would think that this is going to be, yeah, that was Lewin Ady's little spin there. Managed to restart and get going. I think we're going to see a game of chess here at the front. And it's all going to be down to strategy. If Jack Robinson is going to make the move, or is he just happy to sit there on his bumper? And they're making good progress away from Benjamin Baker. They've dropped into 2.974 gap. Fourth place, Oscar Cole, 5.2. And Nat Johnston back in fifth now, 6 seconds adrift. They almost are so close, in some parts they almost look like they're tied together. Now if I was Jack, every time they come into this complex, Oscar does go wide, so he needs to be looking for positions where Oscar's going wide, where he could maybe have a go at the inside. He's better onto the straight this time, and he's decided he's not prepared to wait. And this time he's fully alongside. He's going to keep his foot in. Oscar would be well to give the corner and get back on him. And whoa, Jack just ran wide. He is furious with himself. He just ran wide, put a wheel onto the grass. And don't worry about that, Jack. Just get the engine going, get the engine going, get moving. As you see, look, did everything right. Understeered, carried a lot of speed, looked to his right. Didn't look where he was going, dropped 2 wheels off, and Oscar said, thank you very much. No contact, just driver error there. What a shame for Jack, and what a shame for us, because I think that wouldn't have been the end of it. I think we would have seen more racing action and more changes of position. The marshal needs to pick up the back of the car and push. Jack's got it lit. Probably sprayed the marshal with a lot of mud, and he is going to be furious. But yeah, I'm not sure if we can have a look at it again. But that was all down to understeer initially. Look, he's carried lots of speed. He's correcting. Instead of concentrating on his car, he's looked just for a second to see where Oscar is, and he's just took his eye off the ball. What a shame. He won't forget that, and I'm sure he won't ever do that again. But that's what racing is about. It's all about learning. It's all about trying to improve and learn your racecraft. So the one man that is going to be delighted about that is Benjamin Baker, because he now finds himself in P2. He may be 4.52 seconds behind Oscar, but he is a good 3 seconds ahead of Oscar Cole, who's just lost a position there to Bailey Wolf, who's having a great drive, and he is now up to P3. Remember, the engine specs are different between the yellow plates and the yellow plates. We've got a little spin there for Oliver Harrison. So the engine spec of the yellow plates is a little bit faster than the black plates, but of course in the wet, engine power means nothing. It's all about grip. So even though Bailey has slightly less power, he has got more grip than the pack that he's just changed. And here comes a bit of a nudge there from Ewan Scott, who wasn't any way past, but he's gone the long way round. Can he make it stick? Yep. Oh, and Nat Johnston has took his eye off the ball and just pushed too hard, lost the rear, and he's now falling down the order. Let's just have a look here. So Ewan, there wasn't really room there. He needed just to have a bit of patience, but he used his brain there. And if you look at Nat's just gone in. And again, he was looking at the back of Oscar Cole's car and took his eye off the ball and didn't react. And around she went. And here goes Ewan up the inside. Oh, Oscar. Great kart control. And did he go up the inside? He did. And there's contact there with Ewan. But Ewan's kept the position. And Oscar apologising, realising that he was a little bit too greedy. That's what I love about our DRS62 drivers. Well, all of our drivers. You know, there's never any malice in any of the moves. They're so competitive, but off the track they're all friends. They all get on. And if we have an incident, it's just usually that someone was just trying too hard or a bit eager. Great atmosphere in the paddock of Daniel Ricciardo Series, all the families, all the kids, because this is where they all start off, first couple of years, getting some experience, all driving the same karts before they carry on as they get older and maybe into cars, into the formula, like some of our old drivers have done. Alicia Palmowski being one of them, going up from juniors, now winning the Ginetta Junior car scholarship, and now she's racing cars and gaining experience in her first car season and showing that the Daniel Ricciardo Series is the place to learn your skills. But back to the race. Nat Johnston now, that seems to have woke him up. He's going to be furious. He wants to get as many positions back as he can. Meanwhile, Benjamin Baker, 7.5 seconds now behind Oscar Walsh, who I'm sure is now cruising, with Oscar Walsh taking the victory. Benjamin Baker crossing the line for second. That's his best ever result. And Bailey Wolf in third. Great drive from him. Ewan Scott, fourth. Oscar Cole in fifth. Aaron Heward, an excellent drive for sixth position. Nat Johnston, well, everything was going on there for Nat Johnston in that race, ending up eventually in P7. Great result for Daxton Grove in 8th position. And look at Oscar Roach, fantastic, in 9th position. Third rookie. And a glint of blue sky there, just in the background. Is that going to change everything up again for the finals? So now we are going to be looking at the DRS62 Grand Final. These drivers looking to go out on the track at 16:40 in about 5 minutes' time. And even with his off, Jack Robinson is still managed to be fourth on the grid. Oscar Walsh in pole position, an excellent P2 for Benjamin Baker. Give us a wave, Benjamin, because your mum's not here this weekend. So she'll be delighted to see you at the front of the grid. And, of course, Nat Johnston. Give us a wave, Nat. And then we've got Jack Robinson. So remember, guys, that you're probably wondering why the grid is like this, but remember, it is a result of your points from your qualifying, your heat, and your pre-final. So if a driver scored more points in qualifying, and maybe the heat, as in Jack's case, obviously he didn't score as many points in the pre-final, but nevertheless, he scored more points than some of the other drivers, so that's why the grid is looking like it is, which means it's all about your consistency, strategy, and also just shows it's never over until the checkered flag. And we've got one more checkered flag today in this grand final. So it's all to play for. The drivers will have learnt in the previous races. There's Bailey Wolf, DRA. First in Academy. Give us a wave, Bailey. Who else have we got? Where's Ewan? Someone. Ewan, give us a wave. Ewan Scott, number 4. Damien, 666, new, give us a wave. Oscar Cole, 125, showed good pace in the last race. Oliver Harrison, give you everybody a wave. Where's Daxton? Daxton, number 9, over the back. That's not a wave, Daxton, that's... And then who have we got next? We've got Ashton, 105, thumbs up in our DRS62 Academy. Then we've got Lucas Esser. Oh, look, concentration, looking forward, that's good. And then we have number 134, which is Aaron Heawood. Bit of a wave, Aaron. Okay. Then we have 124, Dorian. New helmet, I see, new helmet design. And then 117, which is Ethan Whitlam. Ethan, wave to people at home, whoever might be watching. Number 64, Cruz Dalton. And Cruz. Then we have the Instagram sensation, number 136, Oscar Roach, who always updates us of his progress through his DRS race weekends. Then we have Jensen Woodhouse, 127. And then all the way from the Isle of Wight, number 112, Lewin Adey. Did we miss someone in front of Lewin? Or did we get Cruz? No, we got Cruz. I beg your pardon. So then we have 138, our new driver, Ava Reynolds. And finally, at the back, 1110, Indigo Pickering. And we've got a little bit of a problem of a start here for Ethan Whitlam. The guys will get him going. Don't panic, guys. Look, don't panic. There we go. Everybody's out onto the track. And we have a couple of installation races. Not races, laps even. As the sun comes in, but that black cloud, yeah, is looking a bit threatening. So we'll have to look at it. It looks really quite nice as they come down into the middle section of this beautiful GYG circuit. But it won't be until they get to the top with our camera where we'll be able to see if it's actually raining, because from race control, it's lovely and dry in here and warm. The rolling starts, because these engines do have clutches, but they're not designed for a standing start. So what you will now see is these DRS62 drivers bring the speed down to about 30%, stay in two lines. That's why it's important that these drivers remember who they're behind, where they're gridded. The computer checks which position they are in, and we've got a problem there. Who is that? Is that number 136, Oscar Roach? Has he stalled it, or has he flooded it? He might have. Get it going. That has conked, I'm afraid. Oh no, what terrible. That is a shame. We don't want to see anyone not competing, but clearly something has broken on that car. Oh. So he needs to get to a safe position, which he's doing so in that marshal post. I'm just looking at my timekeeper because I didn't see. I was focusing on Oscar Roach. And we are racing. And Oscar Walsh is up, and we've got a car off at the top. That is Ethan Whitlam. Now, that is in a dangerous position. And he's not going anywhere, and as we can see from our camera at the top, it is raining. So Matt Daniels needs to look at that stranded cart. Waved yellows as the cart stream through. And some drivers passing under the yellow there. So Ethan makes his way quickly. Now, some drivers did look like they passed under yellow, which is obviously not allowed, especially when there is a stranded cart. So Ethan is into the safety of the marshal post. So that's 2 retirements on the early laps. Meanwhile, Oscar Walsh is away. Benjamin Baker in second, and then we have the DRA Academy driver of Bailey Wolf, and then here comes Ewan Scott and Jack Robinson. Now it seems drier down here at the bottom of the circuit than it does at the top. And from my vantage position, as I look at the middle of the circuit, there is definitely a dry patch forming in the middle of the tarmac. So the drivers that are queuing up in the next race, which are the DRS125, they need to consider their tyre choice because it does look now to me like the circuit is drying. Meanwhile, oh no, we've got a spin there for Oliver Harrison, number 6. Let's have a look. Oh, he'd already gone. Obviously just got his foot in a bit early, and he knows it. Now Benjamin Baker, let's just have a look, a bit of a time check and see what is happening on the pace. So Benjamin Baker 57.041 as opposed to Oscar Walsh's 56.791. So he's in the ballpark. DRA Bailey Wolf 57.78. And Jack Robinson 57.194. So Jack has the pace, but he doesn't have track position at the minute. So let's see if Jack can make it past the DRA car of Bailey Wolf. And it's definitely looking dry over there in the last 2 sectors. What's happened here? Oh, that's a big moment there. Eva Reynolds. Oh, is she going to hold it? I'm not sure if she is. That's Indigo Pickering. Lost it going into the corner. Oh, no, Ava didn't manage to hold it. So our 2 ladies off at the top of the circuit, but look like they're both getting underway. And that's a spin for DRA. What happened there? Yes, just lost the rear himself. And I think this is because we're starting to see the circuit dry, and these tyres are just starting to overheat slightly and lose grip. And as we've seen before, it doesn't take much before you're like driving on ice, even though it's drying out. But these tyres can overheat and go from good grip to no grip. So unfortunately that just caught Bailey out. Nevertheless, he's still in 5th position, but he's now got the attention of Oscar Cole. And behind Oscar Cole is Ashton Redpath, and Ashton is going to have to get after Bailey Wolf because they're both racing for the DRS Academy. So this is going to give the incentive to Ashton, because if you can see who you're chasing, as a famous commentator once said, it just gives you extra horsepower. And you close the gap. But it does look to me like Bailey has managed to gather himself together, and let's have a look at his lap time this time through. 57.306 as opposed to Oscar's 58.039. Up at the front though, that's interesting. Benjamin Baker 56.794 as opposed to 56.9 for Oscar Walsh. But the man on the move is Jack Robinson, 56.251, fastest lap then. And remember, in the final, in the grand final, there are 3 points for the fastest lap. So we've just got just over 4 minutes left, plus 1 lap in this grand final. So the gap now is down to 1.9 for Benjamin Baker and 4.2 seconds to Jack Robinson. So the sun starts to come out and more dry patches are appearing. So there's Oscar as he goes up the hill, followed by Benjamin. And Jack Robinson just overtaking Ava Reynolds. And then a bit of a lonely race for Ethan Scott in 4th. So, and we've got a spinner in the middle section, 2 spinners, 2 carts off, but they look like they're restarting. And are more drivers getting caught out by these drying conditions? You can see now the shadows across the track. And now a bit of blue sky forming. And definitely a dry line. But Jack Robinson is now fully lit. He can see Benjamin Baker. Benjamin just going offline there to maybe cool his tyres a bit. But I'm not sure it's going to stop Jack Robinson, who is now 55.9. He is flying. His dad obviously has got the pressures just right. And unfortunately, he had such a bad opening to this race on the early laps. But the gap is now 2 seconds from Oscar Walsh to 3.5. What is it this time round with 2.5 minutes to go? What's happening here? Oh, look at Oscar. Oh no, Oscar spun it. I missed that, and Benjamin Baker has took the lead. Oscar can't rejoin that sensible driving from Oscar. He couldn't just, even though he wanted to, just go. He had to wait for the carts to pass safely. And now Benjamin Baker is under full attack from Jack Robinson. This is the race of Benjamin's life. He's only started with DRS last year, and he now leads with just over 1 minute 40 to go. So he's going to have to do another couple of laps. And Jack Robinson can smell the win. As I said before, lots of things have happened through today. And now, as we go with 1.5 minutes to go, so for sure there could be 2 laps. No, he's the other side, Benjamin. He's going to try to go around the outside. Can he do it? Jack Robinson, this is full commitment. Can he get the cutback? He's got the inside, but Benjamin very smartly covers it off. Now he needs to cover it off on the inside. And all the time, Oscar Walsh is closing. He may be a little bit further behind, but he's closing. Is he going to pick up the scraps if these two have a coming together? Now, Jack knows his tyres are in perfect condition. He's got good grip, so he needs to use it before his tyres start to go off. But Benjamin is driving beautifully. Can he hold it? A bit of a lunge there from Jack. Now Benjamin needs to get back in the tow. What a great move there from Jack. Can Benjamin get in the tow and get him back at the top corner? He's probably got one chance to do it. I'm not sure he's close enough. He lost too much traction. He's having a look on the inside. Yeah, look. Benjamin just left the gap. And Jack said, thank you very much. He didn't need an invitation, an RSVP. He was there. And he's managed to cover Benjamin off. Now then, the next target or the next risk is the gaggle of carts that are ahead of Jack Robinson. And Benjamin is going to be hoping that even though these guys are going to get blue flags, is this his last-ditch chance to get back past? He's dropped a few lengths this lap. This is a really good lap by Jack Robinson. And now they start the last lap. And that was fastest lap then by Jack Robinson. So he's going to pick up 3 points for that. A 54.694. Benjamin lost 4/10, but now Jack is going to come across these carts, I think, in the worst possible place. So Benjamin's got to keep his foot in. So here come the blue flags. But these drivers are racing for position. They're not going to know about Jack. So Jack has to tread carefully. He's gone at the inside. So now up onto Lewin 80. And Lewin's made it easy for Jack by going wide. Jack Robinson, what a recovery. Grand final winner for the DRS. Fantastic second place for Benjamin Baker. Third place, and commiserations for Oliver Walsh. unfortunate, just a spin, costing victory today. 4th place for Ewan Scott, 5th place for DRA for Bailey Wolf, just ahead of Ashton Redpath in 6th. Those are our first 2 DRS Academy drivers. 7th place for Oscar Cole, 8th place for an Academy driver, 124 Dorian Malik, 9th place for Nat Johnston, number 5, 10th place for Academy driver Aaron Haywood. And as I said before, anything can happen, and we just saw in that race, it usually does. So, provisional results subject to technical checks in scrutineering. Okay, welcome everybody. What a fantastic day's racing. Really difficult conditions. But now we're going to give the awards out for today, and we're going to be starting with the DRS62s, the Academy category. In 3rd place, number 124, Dorian Malik. Well done, Dorian. In 2nd place, in DRS62 Academy, Ashton Redpath. Well done, Ashton. We've got to get the trophy first. Well, that's it, mate. Sam, work for it. Well done. And our winner today in the DRS62 Academy is DRA Bailey Wolf. Well done, Bailey. Oops, watch it, it's a bit slippy. Say cheese. Well done, guys. Big round of applause. Okay, so now we move on to the DRS62 Super, and in 3rd position, number 3, Oscar Walsh. Well done, Oscar. And in 2nd place, number 7, Benjamin Baker. Well done, Benjamin. Yeah, sun's out. It's not raining for this. Look, the sun's coming out. And your winner today of the DRS62 Super Grand Final is DRS Jack Robinson. Well done, Jack. Well done, boys. Picture.
Hang on, Jack. Okay. Jack, hang on.
Oh, are we done? Well done, guys. So now we move on to the DRS 100B final. Your winner today, number 143, Daniela Sutton. Well done, Daniela. Well done. So now we're going to move on to the DRS 125 Grand Final. The Masters winner today is DRS Firaz Bill Basie. Is he still here? Firaz? You can take it for him, Mark, if you want. Well, Mark. Well done, Mark. You have it because you broke down. Well done, Mark. So, your top 3. In 3rd place today, number 4, Tom Snake. You didn't get the memo about the race suit, Tom? Oh, that's your dad, we'll blame him. And your second place today is number 183, Ben Gartside. Well done, Ben. And he didn't look like he was having a very good day, and all of a sudden, your winner today was number 5, Oliver Owen. Well done, Ollie. One more. Well done, guys. So now we move on to what I thought was the most exciting race today, with it raining halfway through and all the drivers on slicks. Your top rookie today in 13th place was number 114, Archie Potter. Well done, Archie. Well done, Archie. So, into your top 3. In 3rd place, DRS Freddie Cox. Well done, Fred.
You left-handed, yeah?
And your 2nd place today, number 140, Sam Hully Hicksberg. Well done, Sam. And your winner today, number 3, Max Solaski. Well done, guys. Brilliant. Well done, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for attending round 3. Sorry the commentator wasn't very good, and Mark will be back for the next round. Safe journey home, and we'll see you at round 4 at Little Islington.